Hey guys, what's up? My name's Danny, aka Thriftfish. I'm an online fashion reseller. I sell on Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari. And today I'm going to do a video that I've been wanting to do for a long time. I started thinking about ideas for this video right before COVID came to town, and I decided to put a hold on it because it wasn't really relevant at the time. It still may not be relevant to you right now. That's fine. But hopefully this video can help some of you who are traveling and venturing out to thrift stores right now, especially those of you who are new at it and want some tips for how to get started thrifting and finding items in the thrift store to flip. So this video is beginner sourcing tips for sourcing at retail thrift stores. So whether you're a reseller who's maybe in the past only done retail arbitrage or other such things, or maybe only hard goods and you haven't been doing clothing, or if you're a brand new reseller and you want to start getting into the thrift stores, I have just a couple tips and hopefully that can help you get started. If you like this video, I would really appreciate a thumbs up, and if you end up liking this video, this content, and you want to see more from me, I would super appreciate it if you hit subscribe. That means a whole lot to me and I am excited to see this family grow. But let's go ahead and get to it. So my first tip for beginning sourcing in retail thrift stores, so like a Goodwill, a Savers, Value Village, Salvation Army, is to follow social media. So whether that's signing up for an email list or following on Instagram or Facebook, generally that's going to be the best way for you to find out what's going on. So whether there are sales happening, or whether, this is sad, but if a store is closing and they're having a huge sale, or even local thrift stores will probably do this as well. That to me has been the most helpful for me to know when sales are going on or what sales are happening. So at Goodwill, they'll let you know what the color of the week is going to be on the email list. With Savers, they have sales all the time, which they will email out to their members. So as many social media outlets as you can follow. For buy, sell, trade, for Plato's, I follow them on social media. Things like that. Just try to get as much information that way as you can, so you know when the really good deals are happening. Get familiar with your local stores, their weekly sales, or whatever if they have coupons for donating or anything like that. There are lots of opportunities for discounts and deals and sales. You just have to know where to look. Along with that, signing up for rewards programs. So if the store has a rewards program, I highly recommend signing up. So at Goodwill, usually you give them their phone number and there's some sort of point system. That's not everywhere, but with my Goodwills, they do that. Same with Savers. Give an email and members get a certain percentage off. So definitely worth signing up for those rewards programs if you don't mind the email spam. But sometimes the emails can be good because it can let you know what's going on. It can be coupons, whatever. So those two are kind of related. My third tip is when you're actually ready to go prepared. And this is now more than ever, especially during this time, especially if you are required to wear masks when you go out, wear a mask, bring a mask. If you want to wear gloves, bring gloves. But in the past, I would have said, go prepared, bring a reusable bag. I have been iffy with that lately because I don't know whether or not some stores are saying, yes, you can use them, or no. But normally I would bring a couple big IKEA bags or just some sort of reusable tote. Help the environment a little bit, and it's a little bit easier to carry those rather than the plastic bags that literally the other day I had one and it split in the parking lot on me. So the IKEA bags don't do that. Come with a charged phone, because if you're going to look up sold comparable items and try to see what different items are worth in the store, which is going to be a further tip of mine, you're going to want your phone so you can look those things up and just, be in contact with someone, because sometimes when you're out thrifting, you're out for a long time. So come with a charged phone. You don't really want to be stranded without it. And bring some snacks. Bring water. Sometimes I have 2 full water bottles with me when I go thrifting. Right now the issue is most thrift store bathrooms are closed, so that's kind of tricky to maneuver around, but And if you're out for a long day, bring snacks, bring something healthy, bring something that's going to sustain you for a little while and be a good healthy snack for you, so you have the energy to do all the thrifting. And that applies to any thrift store, especially the bins, but even retail thrift stores. I always like to bring a snack. Okay, so and bring anything else that helps you, I don't know. Some people will bring a little stain stick, and so if they see a stain in the store, they'll like hide and quick try to get the stain out with the stain stick, and if it comes out, then they'll buy the item, and if not, they'll leave it there. So that's a little extra, but get creative. You don't want to carry too much. I tend to use a fanny pack because that's just the person I am, but that's the kind of size of the thing that I want to be carrying with me, because you want to be able to freely move and flip through the hangers and do what you need to do. Okay, that was longer than I wanted to spend on that tip, but the next tip is start with what you know and do your research. So say you don't know all these brands yet. There's so many brands to learn, and it takes time, and it takes, learning and absorbing, and you'll get it. But if you don't know what you're doing, but you still want to get into the thrift store, start with what you know. Say you know Loft. Great. Go on Poshmark or eBay or wherever you're selling and look up the loft that is selling right now, and look up the price it's selling for, so you know your range of what you should be spending on a trendier loft piece. So start with what you know and go from there. And while you're in the store, you want to start feeling out items that you are unfamiliar with but might be something that's worth looking into. And I'm going to get to that later, but just to kind of give you an idea of how you're going to start learning, that's part of it. So like I said, you're going to do your research, and part of that is checking comparable sold items. So on Poshmark, you can sort a brand or a style or anything by the most recent sold items, and you can see what price they sold for. Sometimes if somebody bundled an item, that's going to be a little off, that's going to skew the results, but for the most part you should be able to see what that item or a similar item is selling for. And you can do that just on your phone in the thrift store. You can just describe the item on Poshmark, like, Lily Pulitzer pink dress. That's probably, you'd get so many results, but or if you can find a style name or a style number in the store, you can quick look that up as well. But try to get used to looking up comparable solds while you're out at the store. That's really going to help you hone your skills and figure out what's worth buying and what's not. You are going to make mistakes. I do want to put that in here too. It's just unavoidable, but that's part of the learning process. So you're going to buy items that are going to sit, and you got excited about it in the store, and it's not going to sell, or it's going to take forever, or it's going to sell for a lower amount than you thought. I'm still doing it. We all do it. It's forever a learning process. But checking comps in the store will help you avoid doing it as much as you potentially could without doing so. So that's important. That's a key tip. The next tip is just being polite to the staff in the store. So making sure that you're doing things like taking the hangers off of the clothing before you check out. They really appreciate that. I get thanked for that often. If you accidentally knock something off of a hanger, pick it back up and hang it back up. Say hi to the employees. Better your relationships are with the thrift store employees, the better. I just think it's the better it can be. I've never had a time where I've announced to anyone that I'm a reseller, but I don't think there's any reason to stray away from telling people that you're a reseller if you're in the thrift stores. I think some places can get a little weird about that, but for the most part, people are okay with that. I think most of the people I see in the stores these days are resellers anyway, so it's not like they don't know that there are resellers shopping their stores. So anyway, be polite to them, be nice, because that's just going to make it easier. And it's going to make it easier for you to do stuff like checking new racks that have just rolled out, which is my next tip. If your store has like rolling racks that come out with new inventory, if you are allowed, some stores don't allow you to do it, until they're out on the floor. But if you can, I recommend checking those new racks because that is the freshest, newest stuff coming out on the floor. So you have the potential to be the first person to set eyes on those new items and grab the best stuff. So check the new racks. Also, check the go-back racks. So if you have a fitting room area and there's an area outside the fitting rooms where people put back things that don't fit, didn't work for them, but they chose them in the first place, so they might be desirable. So checking through the go-back rack is also worthwhile in most cases. And say there was a reseller there before you who put back a bunch of stuff they didn't want. Maybe it's still good stuff. You never know. So that's definitely one to check out as well. The next is check for flaws, not once, but twice before you leave that store, or at least that is what I have come to do in my process. When I am looking through the racks, if I find something I like, I hold it up, I do a quick look over, and I put it in my cart. And I kind of just do that the whole time. And then before I check out, I find a quiet corner and I go through everything. This is when I check comps and I do a second check, a more thorough check to make sure there are no flaws. Or at least no flaws that would stop me from selling the item. A couple areas that you want to specifically check, any seams or like underarm areas, silk or linen or cashmere items might have holes or runs. Sometimes elbows wear out, knees, even like butt areas in jeans. Check the crotch areas, especially in like athletic and yoga leggings. There might be a lot of pilling or wear or rips. Check the insides of leggings. I'll stop there. Think about all the things that could happen to your clothing. Think about those common areas for wear. Cuffs tend to get a lot of stains. You might get makeup stains around necklines. So just start to think about those things as well. And thrift store lighting often is not the best. And like picking up items that might not sell, you're going to miss flaws too. It happens. It's part of the business. But again, checking thoroughly in the store is going to help you reduce that amount of flaws that you take home. And the last tip that I had mentioned a little bit earlier is kind of learning in the store as you go. So checking material tags can be really helpful. First of all, feeling the items. So as you go on, feel the items and just kind of notice what feels nice to you. What feels like a quality material? What's something you want to put on, like soft or silky or I don't know. Check the material tag, and if you find things like merino wool or 100% silk or leather, there's a lot of others, linen, different types of leather, there's all sorts. Do a little bit of research on quality materials that you want to put in your closet. And oftentimes brands with those kinds of materials are worth looking up. So if you feel something nice and you see that the material tag proves that it's a nice material, look that brand up and learn that way. That's been huge because that's going to help you just kind of hone this sixth sense of being able to pick out random brands that you knew nothing about, along with researching brands that you're going to want to look for. So those are my tips for beginning thrifting, for reselling in retail thrift stores. Let me know if you have any other tips, and let me know what tip in this video was most helpful for you in the comments. Once again, give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you again real soon.